Hey guys, Jacob here with ePoolSupply. Today we have the A&A low profile 2-port valve. So we're gonna dive in and kind of go over this entire valve. All right, and we're back. So low profile 2-inch 2-port valve made by A&A manufacturing. So if you've got a really small body of water like a spa or a system that has like, I don't know, 10 or less heads, this valve was probably for you. So this is not a normal situation. So this valve is just a 2-port. So we're gonna dive in, show you what makes it a 2-port on the inside, but to start the outside, as you can see, let's switch to the camera over here. So we've got, all 4 of these are capped off. So this is a normal 6-port housing. They're a common housing that they only sell for all low profile valves that are 2-inch. And what it is they capped off these 2. So then the furthest adjacent holes over here are the only ones that actually flow water out of them. And what makes that happen to where, like, I know you're thinking like, well, that doesn't make sense, because if it goes from port to port to port to port, you're gonna deadhead these 2. However, A&A thought about it and they're like, oh, you know what? Let's not deadhead valves. So they made a larger cam that theoretically opens up like this whole zone right here at a time. So when it shifts, you're getting like all of this coverage. So when it shifts from here, you're starting to open up ports over here. But let's dive in and I'll show you more of how it works. So let's take the clamp off. Like all their valves, from the manufacturer, they give you a bolt on the end of their clamp. And that bolt is for pressure testing valves. So that way you don't have to mess with the guts on the inside or anything. You just plumb it, set it, forget it, pressure test your entire system. And then pre-startup, if you see a bolt on there at startup, that means that there's a pressure fitting on the inside of here, which is just a little piece of PVC, it's a pressure ring. And that pressure ring needs to be removed. So it's a good reminder, if you see this bolt, you gotta remove the pressure ring, which means I will show you what that is right now. So let's take this bolt off. So now the clamp comes off, lid comes off, gear kit comes out. And here is your pressure ring. So that pressure ring keeps those flaps at a little bit of an angle. So there's 2 reasonings for that. One is so that both of the ports can get equal pressure when you pressure test the system, because if that flap is down, it could actually seal off that port to where you don't get a good pressure for that whole line, that whole zone. So they keep it at an angle so it allows water and air and everything to flow through there. And at the same time, that ring also keeps the flaps up off the housing. So when you're gluing your pipes into the bottom, you don't get glue in there. So it's a good little multi-purpose thing. So what you want to do when you install this thing is take this out, remove it, and now you can reinstall everything. But like I promised, we're gonna go over what makes 2-port work and why it works differently than all the other valves, which is the cam. So as you can see, the cam, let's put this in there. This is what turns on the bottom of this valve. Let me put it in real quick and I'll show you the example. So as you can see, that is dead in between 2 zones. So what happens is this slowly turns like this, lifts up this T, and it allows water to pass through the hole to your pop-up heads. So as this thing keeps turning, so you see how it gets to right about there? So now it's slowly lifting up the bottom one there and closing the one back here. So there's never a point where both of those flaps are actually closed. So water always has somewhere to go. So this is the transition phase of when your heads are popping down and the new heads are popping up. So you get a little bleed through. However, real quickly, this one completely seals through, and now that one is allowing all the water flow. So this cam right here, this is what allows a 2-port to work effectively. If you threw this cam on a 6-port, you'd have 3 zones up at all times. So we don't recommend that. You have a 2-port, get a 2-port cam. You have a 3-port, get a 3-port cam. If you have a 6-port, get a 6-port cam. So let's put this thing back together and we'll button this valve back on up. So enjoy our little fast forward music. right, so now that I'm finishing up this valve, putting it all back together, this is pretty much the overview of an ANA 2-port valve. So again, it's got 2-inch plumbing. We highly recommend the valve. It's a great valve. It'll last you a very long time, especially for smaller bodies of water. So I am Jacob with ePoolSupply. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe today if you haven't subscribed. Check out the links below, and we got a lot more content coming your way. Thank you.